Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Luis Chavez, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about my favorite photos of the month. If you're new here, this is my recurring series of videos that I do every month. This is for the month of February, so all of these pictures are pictures that were taken in the month of February, and I just want to go through with them a little bit, kind of describe what the scene was and what made me take them, and the composition and stuff like that. I'll also show you the edits that I do. So I'll show you the raw photo as well as the edited photo that I do. So this first photo was taken in Oxnard, California. My wife and I celebrated our 3-year anniversary. So we wanted to pick a city that wasn't too far from where we are, just so, a little change of pace with everything that's going on with the pandemic and everything. So we thought we would try going to a city that was pretty close to us. And Oxnard is not really a city that we've been to a whole bunch. So we wanted to kind of explore it. So this is a photo of this beach which was deserted that was in Oxnard, and so I really like the way that the sun was shining through here into these the greenery and the shrubbery here on the beach. And it's not something that I'm usually used to seeing at the beach. I usually see a lot of sand here in California, so I wanted to take a picture of all this grass and stuff. So I thought it was really nice the way that the sun hit it right around sunset, so it created this really nice orange hue over everything. And I really like the fact that you can still see some palm trees in the background in the blue sky. So yeah, I was really proud of this picture. And yeah, so this is the photo before. So as you can see, it's a lot wider. I like to crop my photos a little bit, so 8x10 usually is what I gravitate towards, but not all the time. But for this particular photo, I cropped it a little bit, and I made it a lot warmer, which was kind of the feel I wanted for this photo. So yeah, so this is the before and this is the after, and it was taken with the Leica Q2. So this next photo was taken also in Oxnard. We rented an Airbnb, so we didn't have to drive back that night. So this was the view from the deck of that particular place. And I really liked the way that, as the sunset went away and it was into the night, I wanted to do kind of like a longer exposure shot. So I set my camera just on the edge of the deck here, and I just did a little bit of a longer exposure, more than I'm comfortable doing handheld. And so I was really proud of the way this photo came out, especially since I was using a Pro Mist filter. This one was taken with the 1/8 Pro Mist filter. So I really like the way that some of the highlights here and these lights kind of bloom a little bit. So it gives it a little bit more character to the scene. So I really like the way that the composition came out of this photo. I wish this ladder here, or this this ramp going onto this deck wasn't there, but it was kind of a spur of the moment photo. But overall, I really enjoyed this photo and this scene. So this photo was also taken with the Leica Q2, and this was the before, and this was the after. As you can see, I kind of added a lot of blues in there. And if you're familiar with my channel, I also sometimes edit with the Kodak pack from the archetype process. So yeah, this was taken with that pack, or edited with that pack I should say, and edited with, I think, Portrait 800. So I really wanted some blues in there, so that kind of profile really brings that in to the scene and to the image. So yeah, I was really proud of the way that this scene came out and this picture came out. So this is the before and this is the after again, and with every photo all the settings will be displayed somewhere. So if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I have a recurring project that I'm just taking photos of empty places in California. And it's just more of like, I'm not looking for empty places, but if a place is like deserted, I want a photo of that just to encapsulate that and solidify that in my mind that this was taken in California during a weird year, in a crazy year. I mean, all over the world, but close to me, this is photos that I wanted to take and just kind of make sure that I had for the year in 2020 into 2021. So this photo was also taken in Oxnard by the beach, completely deserted. And I really like the way that the sun kind of hits everything. It's a lot more harsh. So I took this in the morning. I believe it was around 10 a.m. or something like that. So it's a lot more contrasty than my previous photos. And I usually don't shoot with a lot of contrasty colors or a lot of contrasty scenes, but I wanted to kind of challenge myself a little bit and take a photo with just around this time. So I'm really happy with the way this came out. You see kind of a hotel that's empty here, into the beach, into the grassy area, and you still see a bunch of palm trees in the background. So yeah, this is the before photo and this is the after. So this next photo was taken near where I live, and I wanted to take photos more of like my immediate surroundings too, because I usually just take pictures of whenever I'm out and about in other places, but I feel like I should also take photos near where I am, just to have those as well. And it's always nice to have photos to look back on. So this photo was taken in a neighborhood near me, and I really like the way that the light was shining here, and everything looks very pastel-y. So that's kind of like the feel I wanted this photo to feel very dreamy. So there's a lot of like magenta hues in there, and a lot of the colors are more pastel-y. So, and you can see like the mountain range in the background, and all these houses are very similar in color, so it's pretty cohesive there. But I also like the fact that there's a tree in front and a tree in the back, just kind of giving this picture some depth. And yeah, so I was really happy the way this picture came out. I like the amount of grass I have in here. And even though the sky is there's a lot of sky in there, I think having a bunch of trees in there kind of fills out the scene and doesn't make it seem overwhelming. So I'm really happy with this photo. And as you can see here, this is the before and this is the after. And so this picture I also cropped 8x10, which I often do. This photo was taken with the Leica Q2 as well, and it's a picture of these tennis courts. And again, I usually have my camera with me at all times, but especially during my walks around sunset or in the morning. So this is around sunset, and I really like the way that this light was shining on these wired fence on here. So I wanted to take a picture of that, especially again since it's empty. So I wanted to just kind of underexpose a little bit, just so I can bring out some detail and still get a bunch of detail in both the highlights and the shadows. So I underexposed it a little bit, and I brought everything back up, so all those other shadows are erased. And so I'm really happy with this picture, the way it came out. I usually warm it up more than this, but I thought this would be a little nicer to kind of encapsulate the whole thing, since there are some blues in here with the floor of the tennis court. So I didn't want to overwhelm that. So, and since there is some orange and yellows here that are hitting on the fence, I didn't want to make it too warm of a scene. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I usually like to get some depth in my photos. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. And yeah, this is the before and this is the after. So this next photo was taken in Newport Beach. My wife and I aren't usually the beach type, but since everything's pretty empty, we kind of wanted to take a walk down the beach with our dog. So we took our dog pretty early in the morning into the early noon, and so I saw these palm trees as we were walking down, and I saw that this court was kind of right in the dead center of it, with the lifeguard tower right behind it. So I kind of wanted to frame it in a way where you can still get a bunch of stuff in the frame without being overwhelming. Something I would criticize this photo of is I wish there was more palm trees, so they're cut off at the top. So that's something I would have changed with this photo, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. There's a lot of blues in the sky, with the soft sand colors here and a little bit of green. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with this photo. And as you can see here, this is the before and this is the after. If you saw my last video, you've seen this photo already. So I was walking the streets of Pasadena and trying to just get more people in my photos as a challenge to myself for the month. So I couldn't find that many people in Pasadena when I went, but I was trying to get as many people as I could. So this is one of them. I was walking down the street and I saw this guy who stopped to take a picture of the sunset here, and I wanted to take a picture of that. So I wanted to just kind of have him in frame and kind of solidify how empty it is. So I took a picture of it, and I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit and just do a black and white edit on this. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I think it really brings up the feeling of emptiness that this particular day was here in Pasadena. So yeah, I was really happy with this photo, and I cropped it a little bit, as you can see, so you get the scene is not so overwhelming where this guy is kind of lost in it, but it kind of centers him a little bit in the frame and kind of draws your eye to him a little bit more. I wish he was standing right in the center of where he's standing, maybe a little to the left, but that's a minor complaint on my end. I can't control the way that where people stand, so I'll take what I can get. So yeah, in this photo, I'm pretty happy with it. And as you can see from the before and after, the before and the after, the edit is not that drastic, but I was really happy with this, and I wanted to make that in black and white. This next photo was also taken during that session. I was walking down the street and I saw this man. I had seen this man a couple of times as I walked up and down the street, and I really wanted to take a photo of someone at this restaurant. So I was pretty happy and pretty lucky that I saw this guy just kind of gazing into, you know, I don't know what. So it looked like an interesting scene to me. And there was another guy walking down the street, so it kind of filled up the entire scene. And I think even without the guy in the red on the left, it really works. So I was really happy with this, and I just cropped it a little bit just to make it a little bit more centered. But yeah, I was really happy with this photo. And as you can see, the edit is a little drastic with the cropping. So as you know, the Leica Q2 has a great sensor for that. So it was pretty wide the way I shot it, because the Leica Q2 is a 28mm lens. So if you really want to get close, you got to really get close. So I often try to avoid that, because I just like to have scenes be undisrupted. And if I want to do something that's closer, I'll rather just go with a different camera. And that's kind of what I want to do going forward, change it up a little bit more. So maybe I'll use my Sony a7 III with like an 85 or something to get closer people in the scene without having to disturb the scene, because that's the type of street photography that draws my eye the most, just kind of people going about their day and just finding interesting framing. So for this one, I cropped it quite a bit, as you can see here. So the picture is in full resolution here, but if you see here the crop, it gives you a different feel of the scene. I'm really happy the way that this turned out. So this next photo was taken in Pasadena as well, and as I said in the video, I'm not usually around this area, and I forget that this is here. So it was a nice surprise as I was walking to my car that I stumbled upon this. And this is a picture of this metro station. And so I wanted to kind of frame this in a way where you get the different levels of the scene. So the up on the street light on the left, that's, you know, where the street starts, and that's where I was. So it's a little elevated, but I want to kind of show everything as a whole. So as you can see from the left, you see the street light, but if you look down on the frame, you kind of get to see a little bit more of where it is. So you get to see that it's a metro station. There's a couple people down there. So I was really happy with the scene, and I edited this one a little bit more than I intended to, but I'm really happy with this, the way this turned out. So the framing was a little off. So as you can see here, it's pretty drastic, the cropping that I did, but I mostly wanted to focus on the left side of the frame. So I cropped it quite a bit there, and then I just brought some different colors into the scene, more blues in there and a little bit of oranges, so to kind of give it a little bit of little flavor to the scene. So back in the middle, it's a little cooler, but in the edges, it's a little bit more orangey. So a little orange and teal look there. But yeah, I was really happy with this photo, and you know, I'm not super uncomfortable, or I'm not comfortable at all cropping my photos. So I was just to find different framing there. So yeah, I was really happy the way this turned out. And so this is the before, and this is the after. So for this next photo, it was also taken in the same set of photos, and I just wanted to get down there and see what else was there. So I went down there, and the guy that was in my previous photo was still there. So I wanted to take a photo of that in a different perspective. So I really like the way this turned out. It's pretty nice and even, and it's a little bit more of the scenes that I like to take photos of. So just things that are happening, and I didn't have to get too close because we're, you know, across the lane here. So I'm really happy the way this turned out. I made it a lot warmer than it was, but I think it gives it a little bit a nicer contrast of the, you know, the blues out in the sky as it's getting darker. So as you can see here, this is the before, and this is the after. It's before, and this is the after. And with these photos, I also really like the way that the before photo looked like. So I'm really happy the way that it turned out right off from the camera. So this is the raw file, and so, but with RAWs, you know, you get like the advantage of being able to play with the file. So although I really like the way that this turned out, just the raw, I'm happy that I could do something else with it. And so this is a different perspective or different coloring that I can do. So this is the before, right out of the camera look of the picture, and this is the after with some coloring and some editing in Lightroom. So this next photo was taken in Claremont, California, and I was really happy with the way that this photo turned out. It was early in the morning. I took a walk, and I saw a bunch of people having brunch, and this guy just happened to be sitting by himself under the shade. So I really like the way the colors popped here. So there's a bunch of pinks with the flowers, but also a lot of greens around it. But then with the way that the buildings are, there's a lot of different types of colors in the background that are more muted and more pastel-y. So I was really happy with the way that this photo was turned out. So as you can see here, the before and after, it was a little bit wider, and I cropped it in. So it's the before, and this is the after. And I just wanted, like some of the other photos that I did this month, I wanted the colors to be a little more pastel-y, just to kind of play around with different colors and different profiles, and just trying to not just edit exclusively on the same color palette, just to challenge myself a little bit more. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way this photo turned out. This next photo was also taken in Claremont, and this one was taken during sunset, so I wanted those colors to pop more. And so I saw this van parked in this driveway with a hoop, so I thought it was an interesting scene, and it's not a place that I walk around usually, so I really like the way that how even it is with everything. So it's a little bit of green in there, a little bit of oranges, but mostly it's just the picture of this house with this van. And yeah, so there's not much to say about this photo. I just really like it, and the way that I edited it, the photo was, again, the Leica Q2 is a little white, so sometimes I crop quite a bit. So this is the before photo, and like I said, I wanted the van to be in the center with this basketball hoop, so I centered it, and then I colored it, and I made it a little more warm. And so yeah, I'm super happy with the way this edit turned out. So like I said in my last video, as a thank you for everybody that subscribed to my channel, I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway. So I'm announcing the winners today. And I just want to thank everybody who's taking the time to watch all of my videos and to leave comments and, you know, liking all my videos. And so I'm super thankful for everybody. And I'm doing these videos just, you know, for fun, but also to kind of show that, you know, if you're interested in photography, pursue it, because it's super fun, but it's also very fulfilling for me. That's usually how I like to express myself. I take tons of photos everywhere I go, so it's a good way to express yourself artistically, but it's also a great pastime. And I'm always up for suggestions and more videos that people want to see. So yeah, thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, so I'm gonna give away some prints. So these are the winners. So the first print winner goes to Carbon Streets. They won the Italy print, and this is a very special print to me, so I'm glad it's going to somebody. And yeah, so if you're Carbon Streets, please DM me on Instagram, and I'll send this over to you as soon as I can. So the next print winner goes to Christopher Calderon, and it's this picture of this car in Claremont. So I'm super pumped that this is going to somebody. It's one of my favorite photos. The next print winner is Stu Hunter, and it's this picture of these palm trees in Oxnard. And yeah, so I'm super happy that this is going to somebody, and I think this is international. Stu, if you're internationally, let me know. There's a picture of California, so I'm glad that it's going internationally. So yeah, if you're Stu Hunter, please DM me on Instagram so I can get your address and send this over to you. So the next print winner is actually a fellow YouTuber, Jay Regular. So Jay, you win this print of the snow here in California. So he's also international, so I'm glad this is going somewhere internationally. So yeah, I'm super pumped that this is going to you. And if you haven't seen Jay's videos yet, he's awesome. He has some great videos. He shoots a lot with the Fujifilm X100V. So if you're interested in that camera, please watch his videos. I'll link his channel below. So yeah, Jay, if you want this print still, please DM me on Instagram and I'll send this over to you. So the last winner of this print of the Golden Gate Bridge taken with the Ricoh GR3 is going to Lewis Chapman. So Lewis, if you can, DM me on Instagram and I'll send this over to you. So yeah, I'm super happy that all these prints are going to different places around the world, which is awesome to me. Again, I'm super thankful for the community that I found here on YouTube, and extended to on Instagram as well. So if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel and please give it a like, but also follow me on Instagram. I'm always talking to people down there, and I've actually connected with a lot of photographers on Instagram, so I'm super thankful for everybody that's reached out to me. And yeah, again, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.